Sorry if you can hear my fish tank in the background. I tried to go downstairs to avoid it, but I have another tank that's equally as loud, so, you know. More by Austin Clarke. Presentation by Graham Ray, me. On the cover that I put here, there's like 5 covers, so if you're looking for it, that might not be the one. That may not be the one you see. On the side, there's a photo of Austin Clarke. I didn't find many photos of him on the internet, but the ones that I did find, I did include in the presentation. So, more plot overview. Eudora Morrison is a Caribbean-Canadian immigrant living in Toronto as a single mother of 1. Upon learning of her son's involvement in gang activity, she finds herself taking a deep dive into her recollection of her experiences up until then. The novel follows Eudora on her journey to find herself once again in the midst of the darkest time in her life. She's basically looking back, you know, reflecting on her life, looking at her memories, her experiences, and taking this, like, all these tragedies that have happened in her life, which, you know, there's more than just the one mentioned on the back of the book. And just kind of taking that, making the best of a situation, and just taking it as just to grow and learn and improve as a person. There's some more photos of Austin Clarke on both sides. About the author. Austin Clarke is a Toronto-born poet and novelist. He won multiple awards throughout his career, including the Toronto Art Award for Lifetime Achievement in Literature and the Casa de las Americas Prize. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Clarke was best known for relating to the experiences of a Caribbean Canadian in his works. He passed away in 2016 from unknown causes, and more was his last book before he died. He was born in 1934, so that makes him 82 when he passed, but that's just, that's like rough, because I couldn't find his exact birthday. I looked, but, you know. On the side, I have a Canadian flag, because this takes place in Toronto, Ontario, and the bottom images kind of represent, you know, young people in gangs, you know, being involved in gang activity. More and its relevance today. Although more was published in 2008, gang violence in Toronto is only becoming more common. There are over 430 active gangs in Canada, many of which residing in Toronto. Young people are drawn to gangs for many reasons. However, the most common reason is the lack of positive connection and feeling of isolation within their own family. When this happens, it leaves the parents to reflect inwards on themselves and worry about what they may have done wrong. Gangs are often a wedge that separates young adults with their families, leaving both parties to really suffer. More dissects the problem from a single mother's point of view, providing readers into the insight of the lives of those affected by gang activity in Toronto. My recommendations and review. I thought More was a touching recollection of the life of a Caribbean immigrant living in Canada. Although likewise people could probably best relate, I think many people could benefit from giving it a read. It provides lessons such as the importance of family and reaching within yourself to find peace and healing in your most desperate hour. I feel like that's a lesson that everyone can relate to, and if they don't relate to it, then chances are they need to hear it. To be honest, I fully went into this book thinking it was going to revolve around BJ, her son, himself, but I'm glad I was wrong. I thought Eudora was an interesting character, and I liked learning about the story through her lens. I usually, when it's books like that, it's from the perspective of the kid who's just kind of experiencing, you know, joining a gang for the first time. But I really liked hearing from the perspective of his mom. It was just an interesting take on it. I'm not the type of person who's gonna sit down and read a book like this usually, so that's what's keeping me from getting 5 stars. I give 4 stars, but like, I think like if you're really into books like this, then you could probably give it a 5 star. Yeah, I really liked it. It was a bit slow at the start, but once it started getting you know, once it started getting good, then I really liked it, you know. Yeah, it definitely, like, surpassed my expectations for, like, what I thought it was gonna be like. I thought it was gonna be good, but I didn't know that I was gonna enjoy it as much as I did.